Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Blind. Continuing on with this quest line here with Brewing and the Schism. Since we're here, Rovignon, balancing the spear. Rovignon is ready to say what is really on his mind. Go ahead, say it. I'd better start from the beginning. It would not do to involve Masterson with our affairs without first ensuring he possesses a proper understanding of how our seminary functions, and how we have been forced to change. You see, most men and women of the cloth go on to live fulfilling lives as pastors, academics, and poets. However, those who graduate from the Schism with the highest marks are given an opportunity to serve in the vault, perhaps one day rise to prominence. The stakes are quite high for those who seek such prestige, for they know full well that their academic performance may determine their future. It is they who strive for the top 3 seats that are granted the Schism's official endorsement, the Trinity. And so those who wish to guide Ishgard's faithful spend their days accumulating marks through academic pursuits, while at the same time honing their skills to persuade others to share their interpretations of Scripture. Up until now, it resulted in no more than the occasional lively debate, for the Holy See was ultimately responsible for dictating doctrine. Ranking was naturally determined by one's familiarity with said doctrine. However, in light of recent events, that is no longer an option. Simply put, we cannot currently assess their academic performance in the traditional manner, as a significant portion of the curriculum has been called into question. As a result, we've been forced to consider more subjective methods. And in this time of uncertainty, students are wont to lash out at their peers, whom they fear will exploit this interim system to their advantage. Distressing, I suppose. What does this have to do with us? I require your unparalleled skills of observation and deduction. The only way to put an end to this bickering between students is to ensure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that our interim evaluations are conducted in a fair and equitable manner. I ask you to stand as an observer until a new curriculum is decided. Our evaluation system is vulnerable. In other words, you want us to catch the cheaters. Precisely. Now then, I received word that the headmistress has returned to her office in the cathedral. I would ask that you introduce yourselves. That was the plan in the first place here. There is something you should keep in mind when speaking with Headmistress Alvain. She was appointed to a position by the former Archbishop, thus her views on the curriculum are quite traditional. I would advise you to discuss matters regarding the Holy See with the utmost care. I'm sure that I'm exactly the person they want to be seeing. After what we did. Anyways. We need this close to get. 3 people in here. No call. The pillars. Right over here. Perfect. In here. Let's go get Deacon and Brewing. We've been expecting you. The headmistress awaits you within. Alright. Perfect. Headmistress Alvain, may I have the pleasure of introducing the individuals who shall be in charge of keeping order at the Schism. This is Consulting Inspector Brewing and his associate, Artexon. Artexon, I must say. Father Rovignon, your selections are rather appropriate. We thank you both for your service in our time of need. I trust that Father Rovignon has briefed you on our humble seminary. St. Elaine Schism has produced Ishgard's vice clergy for centuries, including countless men and women who have served in the highest echelons of the Holy See. all of whom were spared a brutal death on the battlefield in service to a misguided war they perpetuated. Or so some might be given to say. Indeed, some might, and they would not be entirely mistaken. For while we were wholly unaware of the deception perpetuated by the archbishops, we did unwittingly sustain it, to our sorrow. The idea that we willingly subjected them to false precepts is, of course, preposterous, a contrived fantasy. Nevertheless, some fervently believe it true, and those selfsame individuals have come to view our instructors and students as targets for their misguided anger. It is of paramount importance that we restore faith in the teachings, yet how are we to regain the trust of the common man? Our own seminarians are embroiled in childish quarrels. We've heard of this tension regarding the interim evaluation system. Indeed. Quite frankly, it is but one facet. Classes have also been suspended until we complete our own painstaking review of the curriculum. Some students have taken leave, while the more dedicated have taken upon themselves to conduct independent work to demonstrate their merits. We cannot allow this situation to continue indefinitely. Graduation is approaching, and we must make our recommendations. If the senior class is divided, they know not how they will be evaluated. Rather, they understand how they will be evaluated. They have no faith that our methods will produce a fair result. Concerned not without merit, I must confess. I too suspect that some may be driven to manipulate the interim system to their advantage. I expect some have already tried. That is why we have brought in outside observers. Inspector Rardian Artekson. If anyone is engaging in unscrupulous behavior, I should have it brought to an end at once. May the Fury guide you in your task. Alright. We'll just figure out how people would be cheating with the interim system. Now then, before we proceed, may you both tell us a little about your students? Father, my apologies, I'm Father Saturnos. In addition to teaching the fundamentals of Hellenic polity, I also oversee fundraising for the stipends of underprivileged students. That's related. While I would like to help you, I think my opinion would not do them justice. I would suggest getting to know them yourselves. I feel the same. The way in which people speak in front of their instructors is not the same as amongst themselves. In my 10 years of counseling, they have minded their etiquette and are not but cordial to me. However, I can recommend one of the students who is quite vocal. Mayhap you try speaking with the dormitory prefect, Archimbaden. Given his closest to the students' social affairs, he may be able to give you insight into what they talk about. Archimbaden. Ah yes, the silver-haired boy, a son of House Zemmel. As I recall. We shall heed your suggestion, Sister Gatel, given his duty and status. It's a place to start, at least. We're worth work with that. Back to the Scholasticate. Sprinting over the benches like a maniac. As we are wont to do. Or keep your voice down when inside the Scholasticate. Maybe. Has no one ever told you that brandishing weapons is frowned upon in places of enlightenment? That is, unless Lei has sent you to stir up more trouble. Rest assured that my associate inspector draws his armaments only to resolve troublesome situations, not create them. We merely came to ask of your well-being and your expectations for the future. Under the auspices of the headmistress, I am sure. Very well. I, Louis de Bonfort of House Bonfort, in service to House Zemmel, present to you Archimbaden de Zemmel. As prefects to this dormitory, we are responsible for keeping the peace between our fellow seminarians. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you not the foreigner who went to rather great lengths to expose the Archbishop's falsehoods? Responsible for the reevaluation of the entire curriculum? Yep. Quite the resolution, that. And for what? Every great nation's history is marred by the sins of the past. El Amigo, Olda, Livinza, please. Each was built on a foundation of lies and blood. Which is not to say we elites should not learn from these mistakes. But we, who have served as shepherds of the people for 1,000 years, have a duty to maintain order through the preservation of tradition. Would a Wainwright cast aside his father's best cart when he has but a broken wheel? Indeed. Archman and I have said as much to those who support a more radical approach. Last thing we need is young seminarians running about crying for reformation. I see. So you both have been quite active in convincing the other students to see things your way. How have you fared? 'Tis hardly a daunting task. Many seek comfort in consistency. Sister Yatel has asked us to bringing back the students who took leave. Why not let our results determine how persuasive we are? I thank you, gentlemen, for your cooperation. I wish you the best of luck with your efforts. Now then, Artek, if these students are bringing back their truant peers, there must be others who are doing the same. Let's split up and seek out the participants. Alright. Speak with students in the pillars. Around here somewhere. The pillars. There you go. They are over here. So sprint on down. We got other quests needed over in these areas. Go down slightly. There's somebody. Come on. A new friend of faraway lands graces us with his presence today. Well met, my good sir. What am I up to? What am I, chopped liver? He was looking at me until you showed up. Why more interesting? Shish. Blah, 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 blah. You need to come back to the source again. Ah, I see. So you're helping Inspector Bardian. A pleasure to meet you. I am Confond de... You may address me simply as by my first name. So what brings you to the pillars? Could it be you are to observe how we go about convincing truant seminarians to return? By all means, let me show you how it's done. Go for it. I must admit I find many of the other students rather intimidating. But thanks to Confond, I am considering returning to the Schlisket to resume my studies. We were just discussing the responsibility the Highborn have to redress the imbalance. By the Fury's love will all men receive, and by the balance of her spear will all be set free. So it is written in the volume 11 of the 72 articles of Hellenic polity. Equal under her ever-watching gaze, would you grace our halls with your presence once more? I might favor you with mine own gaze. I fondly recall seeing your lovely face always buried in that tome. Oh, Parvois, you did notice. I thought to pen a lengthy treatise on it, but I could not make do once the volume vanished. Oh, so you helped Eighth by searching for that tome? With how relevant the content has been these days, suppose it's not surprising it would go missing. In any event, you've convinced me. Gather my things and return to the dormitory straight away. Alright. Yes, that's the way. One must seize the moment and act upon one's convictions. Life is but a fleeting, fragile thing. Wouldn't you agree, my dear? Well, I've done my part in guiding a little lamb back to the flock, and now to celebrate with a well-deserved nap, I bid you both farewell. And they're off. Alright. Sprint over to the market. Okay. Just a little more sprinting left. Who are we talking to? Innocent. Anlay. Oh, hello, Artek. Lay and I were just about to visit our friends in Foundation, try to convince them to return to their studies. It's been difficult since we aren't exactly held in high regard right now. The dormitory prefects have made sure of that. We must do all in our power to motivate our friends to come back to the Scholasticate. Then we can strive for higher marks together. Right, and then we can convince our peers that we are just as worthy as any highborn in the clergy. Then they will welcome us with open arms, and we'll all be well in Ishgard. If Archambaton and his cronies receive the Scholisticate's endorsement, no one will ever listen to us. We can't let them take the Trinity. I'd rather not think of it that way, Lane. Let us just focus on bringing back as many people as we can. Well, that's how the Highborn are thinking about it. The more vocal we become, the more they'll see us as a threat. That's why we have to stick together. Indeed. To this cluster again. Okay. It's definitely going here. Factions and politicking. Fantastic. Fantastic. Whether or not any of this would count as cheating, though, it's a separate matter entirely. Our voice down. Let's get. Yeah. Hey, a bunch of people here. Hello, bunch of people. It's gonna be most everybody here. I only need the top 3. It's not too many of them. Right then, let's see how competitive these students truly are. Quite, I am sure. It brings me joy to see so many of our brothers and sisters return to the Solisticate. Sister, I tell the floor is yours. Thank you, Archambaton. I now announce how many of our stray sheep each student persuaded to come home. Both Themyscent and Lay were able to bring back 1 student each, to guide 2 back into our arms. Archambaton and the Brewing were each able to convince 3 students to return, and most of all, excellent work, all of you. What about the student Convoy convinced to return? I was literally there. Just keeping the record straight here. Oh, is this true? Are we missing someone from the count? The girl you speak of has formally withdrawn from the Scholasticate. Apparently she was not all that enthusiastic about returning as she led Convoy to believe. Mayhap she chose to play along so that he would cease his harassment. Perhaps it was for the best. She rarely engaged her fellow students, instead choosing to sit alone and read the articles of Hellenic polity. Given the recent revelations, I suspect she became disillusioned with the faith. Strange you would say that, Lemissois. When last I spoke with her, Ulla was quite interested in Volume 11's Equal Under Her Ever-Watchful Gaze passage. One that you and your master would sooner pretend did not exist. If she were the victim of harassment, I'd rather expect it would be at your hands. Are you implying that we had something to do with it because we did not share her views? What rot. You dishonor yourself and your house with such baseless accusations. Rather, you would, if aught remained of your house to dishonor. Them's fighting words. I yield, good sir. I yield. I like the qualities the honorable Lord Archambaton possesses, which will enable him to deliver such observations. Well, if Ulla has withdrawn, then I must mourn her departure by walking through the dormitory halls, reciting excerpts from Volume 11. And how do you intend to do that? Volume 11 of the Articles of Hellenic Polity has been missing for some time now. The tomes themselves are inconsequential, if one has taken the words to heart. How fortunate we are that the wisdom of our forebears is not so easily forgotten, would you not agree? Such impudence as befits a 6th son. For all his failings, his father was wise to send him away. At any rate, we are blessed that a handful of truants have returned to us. Truly it is the furious will that we overcome these trials and tribulations, and move forward with a singular vision for the future. Yep. And everybody's leaving. Well, that did not go well. A student with a keen interest in a controversial precept who withdraws without explanation? This seems rather odd to me as well. Mayhap it's worthy of our attention. I'd say so. Balancing the spear. Yeah. Yeah. More than meets her eye. Reardon glances at you, adjusting his spectacles. He does that a lot. Arctic? Were you present when Crimfon spoke with Ola? You betcha. That's why I talked about it. So she was indeed enthusiastic about returning to the Scholasticate. Why did she instead decide to withdraw? Crimfon all but accused Archambanon of having a hand in it, as well as the disappearance of this volume 11. Not more than slander spoken in anger, perhaps. The situation does merit further investigation. We look forward to your results, Inspector. Masterson, if I may have a word with you in private, pray meet with me near the plaza in front of St. Ramon's Cathedral. Alright. Speak with Eternius in the Pillars. So we got here. Doesn't seem super private, just outside next to the statue, but sure. In private. With everybody else. Thank you for coming, Masterson. You are already acquainted with my two best students, Vincent and Elaine. Yep. They have sought my counsel in a quest to obtain the Trinity seats. And I have been more than willing to oblige them out of a desire to ensure that all students are given equal opportunity. I'm not blind to the machinations of our highborn students, after all. I know not what Archambanon and Levasseur have said to you. I advise you to weigh it carefully. You witnessed their treatment of a fellow highborn student, did you not? It should come as no surprise that they regard their lowborn peers far more harshly, discriminating against them with whatever means at their disposal. Those two believe that less fortunate students lack the potential to become great clergymen, but if Themison and Lay can obtain the highest marks and secure their places within the Trinity through their hard work and virtue, then these misguided beliefs will be proved wrong. If we were to succeed, what difference would it make? Those who disagree will not be so easily swayed, and those who sympathize will be reluctant to speak out of fear of reprisals. Then you must find allies who are fearless, who do not flinch in the face of threats. Masterson, have you come across any who fit that description? What about Crimfon? Spoke out already. Effectively. I thought so as well. He seems to treat everyone the same, and he defended all his honor at the assembly. The high-born lecher, who skips out on sessions and can't even stay awake for the ones he attends. Are you daft? He did decide to help us. I wouldn't even want it. No need to dismiss him out of Hanley. As Innocent said, he spoke out openly against Archambanon and Levasseur on behalf of Olna. He might be willing to do the same for you two. Absolutely not. I don't trust any of the highborn. Look, I'll help with finding others, but you're on your own with Crimfon. Very well. Masterson, will you accompany Themison? One cannot be too careful, especially with the rise in assaults on the clergy. Yep. Thank you. Sir, we can find him in the pillars, in his usual spot. Fair enough. Out this corner here. Down this way. There he is. Everybody else. I thought he'd be more receptive to my appeal, but instead he seems rather annoyed. Can't you and Freckles see we're busy? Leave us be. Freckles, you certainly have a way with words, my dear. She's quite right, you know. We have more pressing matters to attend to. Grandpa, please. Will you not here help our cause? Believe us to be like-minded individuals. This is our new path to the church, one based on the principles of... Aha, so earnest and forthright. How adorable. I can hardly resist pinching those soft, supple cheeks. Oh, for the love of... Come, darling, let's go somewhere that'll afford us privacy. An offer that I dare not refuse. Good luck with whatever it is you're about, Freckles. Well, he's gone. No, I cannot give up. The future of the church depends on us. I was not given an opportunity to explain in full, so I'll not leave his side until he hears me out. I'm sure he's going to appreciate that. Down to foundation. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, where are we running to? Right here? Is that font slice? What's going on here? Oh. Oh. Well. Now, well, let's not get too hasty. Sure, we can resolve this matter peacefully. Agreed. As long as you don't try something stupid and give me a cause to cut his throat. Did I not tell you I was preoccupied? You there. Take Freckles and get out of here. Release him at once, or I'll summon the watch. Don't you dare. The affairs of House are none of your concern. She demands recompense, and rightly so. If I must tear with my life, then so be it. I will not allow it. Oh, do not look so glum. If I must look upon your freckled face before I ascend to Illuminate's halls, rather you favor me with a smile or some such. Father's sins are mine alone to bear now. Mine alone to answer for. Mayhap in death our house shall at least be redeemed. Doubtful. If it is recompense you desire, then she'll have it, but not with his life. The Fury forgives not those who kill their fellow man for wanton purpose. Permit him to address your grievances with coin. You may have your justice without sin. Furthermore, I offer myself as your hostage in his place, that he might be free to secure sufficient ransom. Have you gone mad? I told you, this is none of your... I will not abandon such a pious soul, one who shares my desire to make the world a better place. We're not so different, au revoir. We have the chance to make amends for the sins of our fathers, to make Ishgard whole again. I cannot do it without you. Heh, you really are something else. Making a bloody speech about changing the world at a time like this. I offer the wealth of House Agni as ransom. The lady agrees to these terms, and I'll go and retrieve it at once. I'll take her silence as a yes. Now then, come. I've always wanted to tie someone up. Alright. Now he's prisoner. We'll have to travel to my family's old estates in the Western Highlands to retrieve your ransom. Presume you'll wait here until I return? For now. If you do not come back quickly, and with a great deal of money besides, this one's life is forfeit. Is that clear? Quite. As for you, Freckles, do not do anything else reckless. Masterson, I must ask you to come with me. It would not do to go through all this trouble, only to be waylaid by bandits on my way back. Let us make haste. Yeah. In the Earth's Western Highlands. Over here, huh? Falcon's Nest. That'll work. And we can fly there, too. Which is also a win. Come! Midgard's over. We've got a place to go to. Over this way. Whee! Calm. Snowy. It's moving around. Yeah. Are we concerned about this wolf right here? No? Forgive me. My family's fortune is buried not far from here, but I'd rather retrieve it alone. I'll remain here a moment and keep watch for bandits and wild beasts. The wild beast you ran straight towards? Okay. Stand and watch. Watching. Standing. Hostile presence. Hunting. Across. My goodness. Another one. Blasting them. The fierce fire 4. Meow. Meow. Alright. Hopefully he gets back. Safe enough. I have what we came for. Now then, let's pray that Freckles is still alive and well. Alright. Made it. Did it. Back we go. Foundation. Little tower there. Just over there by that tree or something. Huh. Just right up here. Just a hostage situation. Right out in the open. It's about time. I'm freezing. And had half a mind to skin this one to keep warm. Now then, hand it over. Here you are. The entire fortune is bequeathed unto me. Share with your people as recompense. Share with families of the bereaved. On behalf of House Antony, I'm truly sorry. Good enough, I suppose. Theo, Fury Forfend, what have you gotten yourself into this time? I swear I'd leave you alone for but a moment. I was never in any danger there. I prayed to the Fury, and by her hand was her vow returned to me. I'm terribly sorry to have involved you in my personal affairs. Should have known that the lives of my family would not be enough to sate the small folks' thirst for vengeance. Think nothing of it. I too lost my father, so if you ever have a need to speak about it, you can confide in me as a friend. My father sought to curry favor with the Holy See, so he raised great levies to send to the front lines. Honor was his prize, but it was bought with the blood of his subjects, eventually his own. Small folk had come to resent his demands for service. When the truth of the war was revealed, they revolted. The mob overran the manor ground, and my father and 5 brothers perished at their hands. Had I not been sent away, I would have surely died with them. Our fortunes had grown poor following the calamity, you see. Since I was the youngest, father bid me leave to make my own way. So I enrolled in the Schism with hopes of becoming a bishop, to bring honor to myself and my house. But now... Now, there's no use dwelling on what could have been. We must look to the future and do what we can to make Ishgard whole again. Every moment is sacred, and you help me see that, Theon. Consider me your friend and ally. Alright. Well said, Convoy. Well said. Together you may yet bring about lasting change. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Without the endorsement of the Schism and the support of our peers, no one will listen to us. What's more, I still haven't heard anyone explain how we're supposed to get seats on the Trinity. It sure wasn't built in a day, there. Besides, we still have plenty of time to work something out. See? I knew he wouldn't take this seriously. Calm yourself, Lay, and keep an open mind. Now, let's return and discuss our next course of action. Oh, I nearly forgot. Inspector Bardian was looking for you at the cathedral. We should speak to you regarding his investigation, I believe. To the cathedral. St. Germain's Cathedral. That way. Hit the right. Ethernet. Up to the jump. There you go. See what the investigation has gotten here. Well then, my associate, have you anything to report? Oh, just a little bit. Just a whole bunch, honestly. Huh. A former subject of House demanding recompense for the misdeeds of Provence's father. Unfortunately, the situation was resolved peacefully. My investigation has been less productive, unfortunately. I thought to speak with Ola, the student who withdrew from the Schlisket, but I cannot find her anywhere. Same as we said of the infamous Volume 11, which contains passages extolling the virtues of equality. Like the girl, it's vanished without a trace. The circumstances surrounding these incidents suggests deliberate intent. Someone may be attempting to turn this tenuous state of affairs to their advantage, but if so, then to what end? For 1,000 years, a sickness has ravaged our city. It is festered within the hearts and minds of our citizens, and our clergy especially. Treating it will be a long and arduous process, but an altogether necessary one. Our role in that process is clear: to diagnose the root of the Schlisket's ailments. There are malicious forces at work, and it's our duty to seek justice done. Although we'll see how much of a task that's going to be. In time of rest, when light of truth was lost in the righteous, the children looked to one another for guidance, that they might walk in her grace. Back to school. 1. That is an achievement. For completing the quest, more than meets our eye. Could be more to school. Let's see how this is connected to other things. Not especially. We'll continue on here. Divine Reckoning. I'm sure. Problems persist at school. Next time. Goodbye.